For this assignment, I chose to profile author and illustrator Judith Byron Schachner. Schachner began her career as an illustrator and unexpectedly became an author when she was asked by the editor of a book she had illustrated if she was also a writer, and she lied and said yes. One of the things that makes her work so enjoyable is her witty wordplay and playful dialogue. Here you can see a screenshot from an ebook edition of Skippy John Jones, the first of the Skippy John Jones series. Skippy John has been banished to his room and is making believe that his closet is far, far away in Old Mexico, where he encounters Los Chimichangos, a gang of Chihuahuas. The following excerpt is a prime example of Schachner's delightful dialogue. "Ay, caramba, who goes there?" asked Skippy John Jones. "We go by the name of Los Chimichangos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Skipito, the great sword fighter," said Skippy John Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" asked Poquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skipito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pintelito. "See, I love mice and beans," said Skipito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Tia Mia, "if he knows the secret password." I just love the bouncy rhythm of the words and the way they just roll off the tongue. Schachner's books are filled with charming and brightly colored illustrations that often extend beyond the boundaries of the book's pages. Her illustrations are an integral part of the storytelling that incorporate details that may not be found within the words of the story. Many times, the text is actually part of the illustrations, as seen in this screenshot from an ebook edition of Dewey Bob. Schachner also peppers her books with hand lettering that adds visual interest to the text itself. Not only are Schachner's books filled with imagination and wit, they're also feel-good, heartwarming stories that leave the reader feeling like they've just been hugged by a dear friend. In fact, I've even been known to hug her books when I finish reading them because I just feel so warm and fuzzy about them. I want to give them a hug. Schachner is probably most well known as the author of the Skippy John Jones book series about an imaginative Siamese kitten named Skippy John who likes to make believe that he's a Chihuahua. There are 8 Skippy John storybooks in the series, including the 4 pictured here. Skippy John Jones is the recipient of several awards, including the E.B. White Read Aloud Award, which honors books that embody universal read-aloud standards. Skippy John Jones is widely acclaimed by literary critics such as Jerry Griswold of the New York Times, who, after visiting a 3rd grade dual language classroom, wrote, "It was clear that the Skippy John Jones books were appealing mainly because of their intralinguistic wit, playfulness, and musicality." And Judith Constantinides from the School Library Journal wrote, "Spanish-speaking children will be especially delighted by the words and humor." Both of these align with my own classroom experience teaching 3rd grade. My Spanish-speaking students took great pleasure in helping me pronounce the Spanish and Spanish-inspired words as I read Skippy John stories out loud with them. However, in 2018, Skippy John Jones landed at the number 8 spot on the ALA's top 10 most challenged book list. Critics argue that it perpetuates racist stereotypes against people with Mexican or Latinx heritage, and that it uses mock Spanish to make fun of those who speak English with a Spanish accent. In a letter to the School Library Journal, Diane Dauscher wrote, "This book is funny only to white Americans who aren't thinking. Worse yet, it depicts weird stereotypes to children about what Mexicans or Latinos might be like." Perhaps the most notable response to the book was from Hector, an 8-year-old who identifies himself as Mexican, who said he felt like this book was making fun of him. For further analysis regarding Skippy John Jones and racism, you can read Carmen Martinez Roldan's article, "The Representation of Latinos and the Use of Spanish, a Critical Content Analysis of Skippy John Jones," or you can check out the blog post by Ines Casillas, "Speaking Mexican and the Use of Mock Spanish in Children's Books," or "Do Not Read Skippy John Jones." Whether you find Schachner's wordplay in Skippy John books playful or hurtful, Schachner has many other books that are without controversy. There's the charming story of Dewey Bob, who I like to think of as the raccoon alter ego of Skippy John, who sets off to find a home of his own and discovers the importance of friends and helping others. and the Stretchy McHandsome stories about a stray cat who finds a loving family with 9 children, 1 child for himself and 1 for each of his 8 feline friends. Whether she's writing about children or cats or raccoons, Schachner's books revolve around 2 central themes: imagination and love and acceptance. The Skippy John Jones series, with its imaginative main character Skippy John and his make-believe worlds, clearly exemplifies imagination, as do Yo Vikings and Sarabella's Thinking Cap. While the Stretchy McHandsome books, Dewey Bob, and Schachner's 2 books about her own Siamese cats, Bits and Pieces and The Granny Man, all embody themes of love and acceptance. Skippy John Jones is the official website for the Skippy John series. On the downloads page, you will find several printables, including coloring pages, an English-Spanish vocabulary matching worksheet, and other Skippy John activity pages. On the For Teachers page, you will find lesson plans and ideas for incorporating Skippy John into the curriculum, as well as a free Reader's Theater script for Skippy John Jones Lost in Spice. At JudithByronSchachner.com, visitors will find more information about the author and can even send her an email by visiting the Contact Me page. And if you're really interested, you can check out interviews with Judith Schachner from Scholastic and NBC News Learn, and also hear Judith Schachner pronounce her name at teachingbooks.net. Finally, many of Schachner's books come with an audio CD of her reading the book aloud, and you can also access an ebook read-along version of her books from the free library app Libby that display the pages from the book and then highlight the words from the text as Schachner reads them, which is a great tool for beginning readers. If your local library supports Libby, you can download the Libby app from your app store, and you'll need valid login credentials from your library to get access to its digital materials. This has been a profile of children's author and illustrator Judith Byron Schachner. Thank you for watching, and happy reading.